Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction.
Yeah, I met him a few times. He's a nice guy.
Good morning, and welcome to Today in L.A. That's Lower Alabama. I'm Mike Amos coming to you from our studios on South Frontage Street in Troy, Alabama. Troy Cablevision presenting Today in L.A. Our guest today is Coach Mario White, the new head football coach at Pike Liberal Arts. Coach, welcome to Pike County, Alabama.
Thank you very much.
And on the air with us, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Amos calling from Drayton Beach, Florida. How's the weather down there this morning, Mike?
Well, it's pretty. There's still a lot of people down here. I think we've been invaded by the whole state of Texas, pretty much on 38 down here right now.
Evidently, they hadn't started school yet, and they're backing it up a little bit. Maybe Pike Liberal Arts starts today, though.
We started yesterday.
Started yesterday, and so everything went smooth?
Yes, sir. It really did. Went really well.
Coach Mario White's our guest, ladies and gentlemen, and, of course, football season is just around the corner, and I mean just around the corner. You've got sort of a showcase game tomorrow night in Bessemer, Alabama, going up against the #1 team in the state, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Y'all gonna be ready?
I hope so. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot we have to prove, and there's a lot we want to see, and there's a lot we got to get better at. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and the guys are as well.
I know the pandemic happened. You really have not had a real lot of outdoor practices, have you?
No, sir. We got here the last day of February, and the pandemic happened 2 weeks after that. So it's been kind of
been tough, hasn't it?
It's been tough. It's been really tough.
No question about it. If you don't mind, I'm bad about saying this is your life, Mario White. And Mike Amos will be asking you questions too. And of course, it was last. When did they hire you at Pike?
I think it was February 28th.
Yeah, it was last February, right before the virus hit us hard, and they Pike Liberal Arts announced the hiring of Mario White as their head football coach. And Coach, I know it's been sort of a whirlwind, but sort of give us a little idea of where you came from and how you got here.
Well, I'm originally from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Ended up going to play baseball, actually, at Sanford University. Went back to Stillman College with L.C. Cole as the football coach.
You mean in cold blood?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Boy, he's
sir.
a heck of a coach now.
He's a great defensive
From
mind.
Oklahoma Sooner.
Yes, sir. And Donnie Crawford on the baseball side as well, strength and conditioning. And then got a call back from my old high school, Tuscaloosa Academy, and went back to help Robert Johnson on his staff. and then I became the JV head coach. And last year, after my dad passed, Coach Copeland took over. I did something I never done in my life, and that was I became the Pee Wee head coach.
Yeah.
And man, that was a
football coach is a football coach.
Yes, sir. And so after that, I mean, was at the university, the strength and conditioning program.
So you worked with the University of Alabama?
Yes, sir. And then
so if Coach Saban walked through that door right now, he would say, not "Hey you," but "Hey Mario." Is that right?
Yes, sir. So and
up close and personal with Coach Saban.
Up close and personal, saw him every day.
He probably all he had to do is pick up a phone and say, "Hey, hire Mario's."
That'd have been nice. That'd have been nice. But Coach Cochran in the weight room showed me a lot, and went back to TA to help John with varsity.
I know what he taught you how to do is jump rope.
Jump rope. They do a lot of jump rope in there.
And if you think about it, it's probably the best agility drill you could do.
Well, it's a lot of good ones out
Coordination and agility.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And keep going. You stopped at the strength coach.
Oh, then I went back to Tuscaloosa to help John Copeland out his first year at Tuscaloosa Academy. And then, of course, I always helped out with baseball at TA with Lee Evans. And then I'm down here at Pike.
But you ran into a buzzsaw 2 years ago as Pike Liberal Arts came to town with that little left-handed pitcher. He was pretty good, wasn't he?
That's right.
You were one that said, "Hey, listen, guys, this guy's just an 8th grader. Why can't you hit him?" And then the first base coach, and I don't know if you were the first base coach or not, said, "Hey, don't step off that bag a foot."
That's right.
That's good. Right. Of course, that young man plays for you now, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. He's a special ball player, man. Special kid.
And Mike, you watch that kid play. He's quite a player, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched him. I grew up with his dad, David.
Talk about Nelson.
You don't see many kids like Drew Nelson come through and already have a scholarship offer to Auburn. I guess he's just going into his junior year. I guess your son is one of the best baseball players in America as well, though. So
and you hear him say this, ladies and gentlemen, America. He is your son. Now he was too young to be drafted, though, wasn't he?
Yes, he's still in high school. He started his senior year yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So he's been at it.
So it didn't hurt that your son was following you right behind your feet. Is that right?
Well, no, I'm glad it's that way because when he was younger. Everybody say he got everything because of me, and now he's one of the best players in America. They say I get everything because of him, and
now,
that's what every dad wants.
We're talking about baseball, and of course he's a very good football player. He's a quarterback on your football team. Is that right?
Yes, sir. He is a quarterback.
And what is his name, Coach? Mario Jr.?
No, sir. He's actually named after my father. He's Players Mays White III. So.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And of course your dad was quite a legend himself, wasn't he?
Yes, sir. He was a pretty good football player in his own right.
Yeah. And of course, tell us how.
What about your son, though? I mean, your son is also a quarterback on the football team as well?
Yes, sir. He's a quarterback. He can throw it pretty well, but he's pretty much a runner too. So we're blessed to have him. Already knowing what I do has made it easy to transition down to the team to get us going. So that's helped out a lot.
Did you play college football?
No, sir. I went strictly baseball.
Baseball at Stanford.
Played at Stanford and played for a pretty good coach. In fact, one of Mike's favorite coaches at Stanford.
I don't know if you played for Casey, did you?
No, Coach Dunn. Coach Dunn and I, we're big buddies, man. We talk all the time. Yeah. Coach Dunn came 2 years after I left. I played under Tim Parrington.
Yeah, and of course Dunn's daddy was a legend at Vestavia. You notice that Vestavia's not going to play football?
I think they just canceled the first 2 games.
Is that what they did?
Yes, sir.
I was hoping that'd be the case.
Yeah, they canceled the Mountain Brook game and the Homewood game.
Yeah, I know the rest of the story because it surprised me. Somebody told me that a school like that would cancel and everybody else is playing,
Yes, sir. Well, this pandemic has been crazy.
Well, that's happening a lot with programs. They're having you have to sit out everybody that's been in contact for 10 days. So you lose a couple games. So
have you had
how are y'all doing that at Pike Liberal Arts, Coach? Y'all just checking temperatures every day?
Yeah, we checking temperatures and we keep that mask deal going. It's been tough, but the guys got used to it now. And we've been blessed with that COVID deal.
Yeah. Of course, I know you're there early morning and late afternoon. Now, you were there yesterday. It was almost 7 o'clock. You spent a lot of hours and so forth. And of course, this game coming up in Bessemer. Of course, Bessemer is the #1 team in the state. Gosh, I don't know how many years in a row. They're awfully good, but it's going to be quite a challenge, but real good for you to sort of should be able to give you a good idea on where you stand right now.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a great test for this team. This team has a chance to be a special group, and when I got down here, we want to be able to compete with the best and play with the best. So Josh Wright's giving us the opportunity to come up there. He's a great friend of mine, and I know he's going to always have good ball players. So I'm ready to see what my guys stack up.
That game can be seen live from our studios here or actually we're going to be there in Bessemer with our play-by-play crew, and it will come to you live. Talking about Friday night around 6:45 kickoff. I think that's going to be the kickoff, and we'll be bringing you that game live on Troy Cable. Coach, we're one of the very few cable companies that does this. You're going to find out that Troy Cablevision probably is as fan-friendly as anybody in the country as far as football goes. They love to film football games, and you're going to enjoy it, I think.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much for coming to do that.
And hopefully you'll be able to.
You'd probably enjoy that trip, Dad. You could go to one of our favorite restaurants, the Bright Star.
Oh, yeah, man. My wife actually
I love the Bright Star. I used to go eat dinner there and have lunch there all the time. It's one of the best restaurants in the state.
My favorite place to eat is Jim's Barbecue in Maplesville, Alabama.
Okay.
Have you ever eaten at Jim's?
I have not. But
yeah, you've seen that sign saying Jim's Famous Barbecue. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen the sign, but I've never.
You're on 82. Do you ever go to Tuscaloosa on 82?
Yeah, that's the only way we go.
Well, you've seen Jim's Barbecue then in Maplesville. And it is fabulous barbecue. I'm telling you, it's the best. In fact, going to Alabama games and coming back, I always made sure I stopped.
Good deal. We might stop there.
And you'll see a lot of Coach Bryant stuff up there and everything. I know you probably grew up being a Bear Bryant Alabama fan, did you?
Yeah, my dad's a diehard Alabama fan. I actually, man, when I went there, I didn't own an Alabama shirt. So I've always been a big-time Miami fan.
I want you to know, I was talking to one of my very closest friends on this earth, Johnny Williams. Of course, I noticed yesterday when I mentioned his name, your face lit up a little bit. Of course, you know, he's over the former Troy University defensive coordinator, and then became Troy University AD, helped move them to Division 1A. And then now, for the last few years, he's been the executive director of the Camellia Bowl, and also the brand new bowl in North Carolina, or South Carolina, Mike.
Yeah, the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Johnny Williams is from out here at Holt.
Yeah, he was born and raised at Holt.
Yes, sir.
You knew all about that,
didn't you? Yes, sir, I did.
Of course, now, his brother, Steve, is the guy that's got the new bowling alley up there. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir. It's an amazing bowling alley.
Tell him, this is a friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen, that has built a new bowling alley, but it's not just a bowling alley. It's got all kinds of things in there. It's a huge place, not only to go bowling, but all kinds of games, restaurants. It's just really a unique place.
In the old Bruno's building.
In the old Bruno's
Yes, sir, on McFarland. It's a beautiful place.
Well, and of course, he's a former star halfback and kicker at Holt, Alabama, that came to Troy to play football.
I did not know that. Yes, sir.
Named Steve Williams.
Yeah, he was the greatest punter in Troy history, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really good. And one other thing about Steve, Mike, is he's got a long streak of going to Alabama football games. I think it's probably going to be broken this year because he's got a business he's got to run. Mario,
I don't know if they're going to let fans go to the games.
Yeah. Mario White.
How's Little Arts going to? How's Little Arts going to treat fans attending games? You talk about that yet?
Well, right now, man, they just got us you got to try to social distance, and you're required to wear a mask. So I think they're not going to have like open food. They're going to have to like have food closed. And for us, the attendance, they're going to watch it and not try to get it too packed, but they're going to let you social distance and wear a mask as much as you can.
No question about it. I was looking for my mask this morning. I had it on just a moment ago. But of course, we're sitting.
We want to mention the drawdown Saturday night in the stadium. Anybody that wants to buy a ticket to the drawdown, that's going to be What time Saturday night, Dad?
It starts at 6 o'clock Saturday night from the stadium, Veterans Stadium. They'll have it outdoors, and of course, it's an annual event where Troy University raises funds for their program, and good food and good fellowship. And Coach, if you can get back, you'll probably enjoy going out there and seeing those folks. You know most of the coaches at Troy now, don't you?
I know a few of them. I don't know all of them.
Yeah, let me tell you this: they know you by reputation alone. And let me tell you,
Chip Lindsey had his golf tournament yesterday. I saw, Dad.
Yeah, he did, and it was a big success. It was hot as homemade sin, if that's a good word to put. But it was hot, hot, hot. And for those that could stand it, the heat, it was a very successful event and raised funds for the program. And it was at Wind Lakes in Montgomery. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Mario White's our guest, and Mario, you hit the ground running. Then we have the virus hits us, and we've been shut down quite a bit. Does it bother you at all about starting football and starting school yesterday and starting football Friday night?
No, sir, man. I'm actually excited about starting football, not just for Pike, but man, for the whole entire community. And I really believe these kids really need structure and need to get back to school and also need sports in their life. Yeah.
Well, let me just say this before we start talking about personnel on this team. Let's go to our phones here. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing? Hello?
Hey, Mike. It's Mike Hogan.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
I haven't been able to hear y'all for the last week.
Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Steve? Just on your regular TV?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now, Mike?
Well, I hear you talking through the phone, but I mean.
No, but I'm not. Well, I thought we were talking through the TV.
Yeah, the shows have all been on Facebook. I've watched them all this week.
Hey, Mike, can you hear Mike talk then? Can you hear him?
No.
This is Mike Hogan, former Charles Henderson High School star baseball coach and football coach. And, of course, you've been out of it how long now, Mike?
Long time. Since 95, I guess.
Well, he did stay there long enough to have the baseball field named after him.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Coach?
Coach, Mario White, the head football coach at Pike Liberal Arts, is our guest this morning, and they're actually getting ready to play a football game tomorrow night in Bessemer against top-ranked Bessemer Academy.
That's great.
And of course, I know you're excited that so far that we've got football. We're going to have football. You know, Coach White. There's a lot of arguments on both sides, and there's concerns on both sides. But most people think, even the experts think, that a kid is really being taken care of better as an athlete, maybe as if he went home after school every day. What do you think?
Hey, Mike, I can hear you now. So,
yeah, good, great.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Mike Hogan calling in from outside our city limits today, and of course he's a big rodeo guy, horse guy. Since he's retired, he was a long-time assistant football coach, and then a defensive coordinator, and then later on head coach for a long time, head baseball coach at Charles Henderson High School. Coach, you've had a lot of success, and let me tell you. Maybe the thing that attracts people with Mario White more than anything else is his Christianity. You came here as a lay minister, is that right?
No, I'm not a minister.
But
no,
as a disciple for our Lord and Savior Jesus
Yes, sir.
Christ.
I'll say that. Yes, sir.
And of course, you come here with that great reputation. You know that, don't you?
Well. I mean, I hope it's that way, but, you got to get the ground running and do God's work, and that'll take care of itself.
And first of all, I want to mention, of course, he's the new head football coach at Pike Liberal Arts and got a huge, 11, 12 team schedule so far?
Well, it was at 11, now it's at 9. We lost 2 games, And so we just picked up this practice.
Yeah, so that one will help you, sort of give you a 10th game, if not officially. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are y'all still coming down the road from me and playing at Freeport?
No, sir. Their season got pushed back, and so Coach Arts had to cancel that ball game.
I was looking forward to going down there and seeing that game, Coach.
I was looking forward for the guys to play out of town as well.
That Freeport's about 15 miles from Great Beach where I am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always see the sign we go down to the beach, but I never did go down the road.
You've heard of the Red Bar. Have you ever heard of ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about the bar itself, but it's a restaurant called the Red Bar. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
He lives about a block from there, which is a wonderful restaurant down there in Great Beach. But, Mike, when I was walking out of Coach's office yesterday afternoon, I bumped into a good old friend of mine who was a pretty good football player in his own right. But what I noticed about him more than anything was his truck. I just thought I had a fancy truck until I saw Cornelius' truck, Mike. Hey, I don't know if they make GMCs like that much anymore, do they?
It's a nice one. This is really, really, really nice.
And
one.
of course, when he told me this is quite an honor because I think Cornelius Griffin's one of the finest people I know. But he said he would not coach, and ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the assistant coaches on this football team. But he said he wouldn't do it for anybody but you, Mario. He has that kind of respect for you.
Appreciate that.
And Cornelius Griffin, I would think, could coach linebackers and defensive linemen pretty good, wouldn't you think?
Oh, man, he's amazing. I don't say this much. I've had a chance. I've been honored to work with a few guys that have played in the NFL. And I finally told him about a week ago, I said, man, it's hard for me to say this, but I really think you're a better coach than you were a player. And we all know he's an amazing player.
He could coach on any college team in the country, wouldn't you think?
No doubt.
And Buddy is still an imposing figure. I told him, I said, I know you at one time your neck was 21 inches. It reduced a little bit. He said a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Still look good, man.
But still loves the people.
You went from coaching with John Copeland at TA, and now you got Cornelius on your staff down there. That's two pretty good defensive linemen.
Yes, sir.
That's the famous John Copeland dad. Copeland and Curry.
Oh, yeah.
They were Stallings.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did Copeland coach with you, or did you coach for him, or what?
Well, at first when I got to Robert Johnson's staff, we was both on Robert Johnson's staff. He was the DC.
I know Robert, yeah.
And then when John took over as the head coach, then I just stayed on his staff to work with him.
So John Copeland, the head coach at Tuscaloosa Academy.
Yeah, well, he was, and he stepped down last week.
Yeah. Well, of course, I know you'll have a good team, or they'll have a good team. And now, who's some of the other staff people, Coach, right off the bat? I know you can't remember them all.
We have Robert Rowland is our defensive coordinator. We have Dee Brunish is our running backs coach. We have Charlie Schofield is our assistant head coach and JV coach. We have Ryan McCullough, who's our offensive line coach. And we have Chandler Lund, who's our linebackers coach. And we have Alex Adams, who's our defensive back coach, and we have Rush Hickson, who's our wide receiver coach.
Golly, you've got that baseball coach coaching football, don't you?
Yes, sir. Man, we're a small school, so we all have to chip in.
It seems like you got a coach for every position, Coach.
Yes, sir. We're trying to build
it's an impressive group of young people.
You're also the athletic director, and of course you lost the legendary Ponder to Pike Road. Of course, you hired the Hickson kid. He's a great young coach in baseball.
Go ahead and answer,
I guess as soon as you got there, you had to make a hire for baseball, didn't you?
Well, it's funny you say that because 3 years ago, Alan and I, we've been talking a long time. He always tried to get me to come down here to Pike. At first, was to be his assistant baseball coach. That's when Mays was in the 7th grade. And 3 years, it was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was standing in the back of the softball field. The baseball field. We was at the John McWaters tournament. And, man, just as plain as I'm talking to you right now, I had a voice I was going to coach football. And I went home and told my wife about it, and we both just kind of got a giggle out of it. And here we are 4 years later, we're in this position.
So you haven't coached a lot of football then, is that right? Until you started?
Well, I was at Stillman College for 2 years, and then I was at Tuscaloosa Academy for 7 years. Yeah. So
who was at Stillman when you played?
L.C. Cole.
L.C. Cole, Mike, in cold blood, Mike.
L.C. Cole played at Nebraska.
I'm sorry. Played at Nebraska. He was a great player. But now, and of course, you've got a very good staff, and of course, you actually went out this spring, and you were shut down totally during the spring, and you were able to work them out physically with weights pretty much all summer long. How did your team look?
They looking pretty good. We hit the weight room running, but first it was really important for everybody to buy in, and everybody bought in, coaches and players as well. Man, you can say all you want to say. One guy's not going to change the entire program. It takes everybody on the same page to do that. Yeah. And man, I've been blessed and fortunate to have buy-in from the kids and the coaches as well as the parents. And that's what's made a difference in the weight room.
When you go out on the field tomorrow night in Bessemer, how many people do you think you'll dress? How many players?
As of right now, we'll dress 51.
Oh boy, is that impressive or not, Mike? 51 players. And for a private school like yours, that's a lot of players, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, so that's including our 9th graders. And we have one 8th grader that's going to dress with us. Yeah. And he's just
y'all going to charter buses, or what are y'all going to do?
Yes, sir. We're going to get a charter bus and head on up to Bessemer.
And then they'll have to sleep. They'll have to sleep. They'll have to sit at least a seat away. Is that how they work? So,
right now, I think they got us separated that way, but we're going to try to work on that tomorrow, see how that looks. It's kind of like a trial run. Yeah. So we got a lot of other people driving behind us, so we might have to, do some things like that.
I know right now it's plenty early, and you're finding out more and more about a kid every day. Coach, I coach a little bit myself, and it was many times I've seen a player develop overnight from a practice. I mean, from an ordinary player at practice to a great player the next day. You know, it's all in a kid's mind and heart about how good he can be. And as a coach, I've seen kids develop overnight as far as confidence, and that makes them an entirely different player.
Well, I mean, most all kids are one and the same. I mean, they just want somebody to believe in them.
That's right.
And once they know you believe in them, they know you got your.
You believe about I believe, Coach.
Yes, sir. And the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah. Coach, of course, I know you can't name everybody on the field. In fact, you didn't bring a roster with you, but some of the players that you expected to help your team this year.
Wow. I mean, you have Caleb Geiss. He's a strong kid, fast kid, explosive kid.
Of course, some of these kids are transfers from either Charles Henderson or Goshen or from different places. I mean, by rule, I mean, you can go out and recruit. Is that right?
Well, I mean, recruiting is one thing, but to me, in my eyes and to my staff's eyes and to my family eyes, when we came down here, even I was at Tuscaloosa Academy, it's not about recruiting. It's about the experience you're trying to give. The first thing we tell parents whenever we talk to them and we tell the kid is, if you come in just for football, you just need to stay where you're at.
That's right.
So we work on their relationship with God, and we work on their grades, and we work on their attitude and manners, and then football will take care of itself. Football is something we do and coach for a few hours out of the day every day. So if I can't care about a kid 21 hours out of the day, just 3 hours out of the day, they might as well just stay where they're at and play for who they're playing for.
And I probably shouldn't use the word recruit, but it is legal to do. What are the rules on players coming in, Coach?
Well, as far as I know, with AISA and with Pike Liberal Arts or Tuscaloosa Academy or wherever I was at, I mean, most of these people, they just want their kids to come to a good environment. They're just looking for the right kids. They go along with their kids. The deal with Pike Liberal Arts, when I came here and interviewed Mr. Burkett and Ms. Geiss and the board members, they wasn't really interested in just building a football program. They wanted to build an actual community that looked just like Pike County. And so that was our envision. This is the 50th anniversary of Pike Liberal Arts. So
isn't that amazing?
It wasn't just a deal we was coming to build a big-time football program or get the best players that we can possibly find. It was getting the right kids and build this community and make Pike Liberal Arts look just like Pike County.
No question about that. That's a great way to put it. Tell us about, of course, Geiss is a player that, he's a big kid, isn't he?
Yes, sir. He's a huge kid. Caleb Geiss was a good ball player in public school ball. He's going to be a great ball player in private school ball. But he'll make a big impact.
How big is he, Coach?
He's 6'1". As of yesterday, 6'1", 296.
296, and is considered a Division I-A prospect. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's moving up fast. We've got a lot of interest in him right now.
Well, I know you got a kicker already, but if you need a backup kicker, you got Geiss.
Geiss. He can kick in the
He
end
might be the
zone.
biggest kicker in the state of Alabama.
Super athletic kid too, but he's an amazing athlete, and he's made strides. I'm more proud of what he's becoming as a person, as a student.
Coach, please tell me he's not playing over center.
No, sir.
He's not playing the nose.
Well,
Coach, that poor center from the other team won't be able to snap it.
I let Kniz and Coach Rowling on all that over there.
That's right. He's getting good coaching.
Yes, sir. He's getting great coaching.
Tell us about some other players.
You have Bubba Dean. Bubba Dean's a huge kid. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. He has really came along. Cornelius loves him, and his footwork is becoming amazing. He's really hit the weight room hard. I'm really excited to see what he does.
I saw him shooting basketball yesterday, and he's quite agile too, isn't he?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's
Bubba Dean. He's got a great name. Anybody else? Go ahead.
You have Elijah Caldwell as a slot receiver.
Elijah Caldwell, Mike. You've heard that name Caldwell before, haven't you?
I don't know. I grew up with Adrian. I'm friends with Adrian. I don't know if that's Adrian's son or not.
I think it might be his uncle, Adrian might be. I'm not sure.
His dad's name is John.
John, yeah. And tell us about him, Coach.
Okay.
He's a very elusive kid, very, very elusive. He's put on about 15 pounds, and, man, he's looking great. He's looking great in practice.
Is he a running back?
No, he's a slot receiver.
No, slot receiver,
yes,
okay. And, of course, tell us about some others.
You have Peyton Dix. He's a linebacker, 6'2", 235 right now. He runs to the ball. He's violent.
Wait a minute. Runs the ball?
No, he runs to the ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
He runs to the ball, man. He's violent when he show up. He's an outstanding athlete, too. There's a lot of kids out there that's really stepping up and doing a good job.
Yeah, I know it. Any other players that you'd like to mention? Tell us about your son.
Mays, actually, it was
his name is Mays.
Well, his full name is Players Mays White III, but we call him Mays. We've been calling him Mays since the day he was born. He of course he's a full-time baseball player, but he's always dabbled in football, and he's always done well at it. But he's really took the next step for me this year. He had to help out his old man, so he's helping the receivers and helping the younger
Let's talk
quarterbacks.
about him, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no question this is one of the finest athletes in the state of Alabama, whichever league you're playing in. And when did you realize that he was going to be a star baseball player growing up?
Well, man, when he was born, my wife and I was just done playing ball.
Yeah.
And so, he was always in the locker room and he was always playing. You could see he had really good hand-eye coordination from the time he was a
that was from throwing a wiffle ball to a
wiffle
baseball.
ball to a big red bat. Yes, sir. So we just got him behind him, and he decided at a young age that was his dream, his hopes, and his wishes. So we kind of dedicated our life to helping him chase his dream.
And of course, he now as far as being drafted, you have to be a certain age before you can be drafted. Is that right?
You have to be you have to be graduated from high school, or you can be. If you go to Power 5, you have to wait till your junior year or till you're 21 years old. Or if you go junior college route, you can go out to each season.
Yeah. I saw him play as a I reckon as a sophomore and as a ninth grader and as a sophomore. Then last year, he played on a team at Pike that looked like they were going to win their third consecutive baseball championship, and then the pandemic came around and it shut down baseball, so he missed being on I don't think there'd be any question that the front runner to win another state championship. But now this past summer, he's been invited to play in numerous travel leagues and so forth. Tell us what he did this summer.
Well, actually, he went to the Perfect Game National Showcase.
And this is a national showcase now of the finest players in the country.
Yeah, it was some really good players there. and he was able to compete in that, and that was one of his dreams of getting invited to that, and he did. But he plays with an amazing man out of Tuscaloosa at baseball country called his name is Sam Marjanick. And he run a Christian reach out fellowship with the community as well as does travel ball. And he used to have Dominican guys to come over.
Boy, that's pretty something.
Yeah, that's some special good dudes.
Yeah.
But that kind of fell through last year because of the pandemic. But man, the man he's made my son and the values he's teaching is beyond the baseball.
We're talking about Christian values, and that's the most important thing in any young man's life. Is he a pure shortstop, or what position does he play?
Yes, sir. He's a shortstop. So
now, you gave us the dimensions of all the other guys. What is his dimensions?
He's 6 foot right now, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Does he run well?
Yeah, he runs pretty good.
I'm sure you probably ran pretty well yourself. You look like you can play right now.
No, I can't play right now. That day is gone. But
have you hit a lot of ground balls to him? Man. How has he developed?
He's worked out all his life, and we've practiced all his life. His mama play first base while I hit him ground ball to shortstop, and then his sisters get out there and shag all night. So we actually still do a lot of that now up there at Pike at night. So some things just don't change.
But speed kills, Coach, and he's got great speed. What, 4.5?
He's a 4.40. Yes, sir.
4.40, Mike, and. Not since a young man that went on to play for the University of Alabama has Pike or anybody had a 4.4 around here. What do you think? They were talking about the A-band kid that played at Alabama.
He was a special dude.
He could run because he just stayed with baseball because that's where he felt like his career was. I think he's now sort of giving it up, but he played in the pros.
Hey, Coach, what's your
for 2 or 3 years.
What's your offensive and defensive philosophy as a head coach? I mean, what can fans, I guess, expect as far as you guys a spread team? Y'all are like a 4-3, 3-4 defense team. What fans?
Well, this year on defense, man, we're a 4-3 team. That's the personnel we have. And so that's what Coach Rowland loves to run. He knows it like the back of his hand, and Cornelius is all down with that too. So we're a 4-3 team. As far as offense, I'm an air raid guy. I've always been an air raid guy. Almost to a fault. So a lot of people I've coached with get mad at me about it, but then and deep down inside, I think they really like it. So, but we're an air raid team, and I'm gonna dance with the girl that brought me, so to speak.
Is it no huddle?
We'll huddle up. You'll
huddle up.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I like that. And of course,
will you ever have the quarterback behind center, or will it be shotgun snaps the whole time?
We're a shotgun team.
Is Nelson going to play, or will he sit out because of baseball? What's his plan?
Drew?
Is he playing?
No, sir. Drew is not playing football this year. Yeah. He's focused on baseball. He's the #1 player in the state for the class of 2020.
I know, isn't it amazing? Of course, it started as an 8th grader. You saw him as an 8th grader, and and I want to say a few words about him. Here you are, you're the coach on the other side. Have you ever seen a kid that could beat you with a changeup? He had the curveball and all that, and they say now his fastball's gotten to be real strong now, but he's got one of the best changeups that I've ever seen in especially a young pitcher.
Well, it's not just his changeup, and it's not just his accuracy. He can locate, but it's his makeup. He believes he's gonna win. He has a winning mentality. He works out that way, so. It usually goes that way, and the guys feel that way when they play behind him.
Has he and your son become good friends?
Well, they've always been pretty good friends.
They knew each other even before you got here.
Yes, sir, and mass respect for one another. So, they know what it takes to play at that level. So, they kind of bonded with that from day one.
Of course, his dad did a heck of a job coaching him growing up, just like you did. I guarantee you, Brian Meadows. Have you ever met Brian Meadows? The works for the recreation department. He pitched 10 years in the major leagues.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, well, they need to meet, don't you think, Mike? Of course, he played 10 years.
Three of Brian's kids got to play liberal arts.
Okay.
Brian's good buddies with Cornelius.
I've met him in the parent line, but I've never just had a conversation.
Well, he is a fine young man, and of course, he played 10 years in the major leagues, and he shut Atlanta down for 10 innings one night, and they lost the game 1-0. But he's a great guy, and a guy that you ought to get to bring to talk to your team sometime, because he had such great demeanor about him as a player, and of course he could sort of tell some stories that would encourage your kids, I think.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Coach, are you gonna wear that red helmet, or have you changed it over a little bit, or how's it look?
I think that's tradition, so we left it the same. I actually like the way it looks, so
yeah.
We keep
well,
it on
Coach,
the same.
that's a great way to look at it, and of course this helmet. We talk about your team every Friday night on our show. It's all regarding high school and college football. We're talking to Mario White, the head football coach and athletic director at Pike LeBlanc School, and Coach, I know things hit you hard at first. You get a job, and then you had y'all were sort of shut down for a while, and now you get back. You got to be excited.
Super excited. I'm really, really excited. For everything that's going on, I'm really excited for this team more than anything. So, it's amazing how God works. We put together a team that looked just like Pike County, and the pandemic happened. And after the pandemic happened, you had, Mr. Floyd was killed, and you had the riots happening. So I thought this was a great time. Everybody else looked at it as a negative time for this team and Pike Liberal Arts, but I actually looked at it as a great time to show God's work. I mean, these boys really working well together. I think they're going to show the community how everybody can get along.
How many players return with experience, Coach?
From Pike Liberal Arts, I think 5 altogether.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, a lot of them, some of the transfers are at skill positions, and of course, you got some fine-looking linemen coming through there too. I go out every year and interview the team, and at the Meet the Patriots Day, and they've been in the weight program all summer. I'm sure you've seen some kids develop over the summer.
Yes, sir. Well, it's just the beginning. We just really learning what to do in the weight room and how I go about our work in the weight room. So, I mean, it's just in the beginning phases of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Each kid is different, so you can't really just put a huge workout on a kid. You got to know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and you build from there.
Yeah. Coach, you work in the...
Don't you have one of the best kickers in the Southeast too? The Renfro kid. I grew up with his dad Al, and he was a lineman, but his son apparently is a great kicker, isn't he?
Man, Scott Taylor Renfro. Before you even get to the kicking, he's an amazing kid. He's one of the kids that's really brought this whole team together for us. As far as, let's just call it for what it is, for us the black kids and the white kids. He's really brought them all together. And he's one of the kids throughout the COVID-19. He called me and he texts me every day for a workout. And man, he is actually up to like 180 pounds. And his max are unreal right now. He's benching right about 235 pounds, and he's squatting right at 400 pounds.
Oh man!
He's power cleaning right at like 205. And so I'm more blown away by Scott Taylor Renfro as a person, for even his work ethic and his values, before we talk about his kicking. Now his kicking, man, that's second to none. He was doing that before I got here. I mean, this year he'll just be kicking. So, because I was watching the film during the COVID-19, and I saw the first part of the year, he was kicking everything 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone. And towards the end of the season, he was kind of leaving him up short. And I realized why. It was because he was playing wide receiver and defensive back. So that'll take a lot out of you. So, man, we're going to let him do his thing this year. He's just going to kick.
And inside the 40, you got a chance for 3 at least, don't you?
I mean, the other day, to be honest with you,
how far did he kick it?
The other day, I mean, you get inside the logo. I think he.
We're talking about 60. He's got that kind of range.
I think he got. I really believe if push, I wouldn't hesitate to send him out there for a 55-yard.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, sir.
Of course,
he's already committed to Troy, I think.
Yes, sir, man. Coach Lindsay, they getting a really, really good one with him. So.
Mike, of course, this guy worked with Coach Saban at the University of Alabama. First of all, tell us your idea or what you gained by working with Coach Saban and his staff.
Well, I mean, I mostly gained a lot working with Coach Cochran, man. I mean, that dude, I mean, he was really the lifeline. Well, when I was there, he was the lifeline to that program. First of all, the kids swore by him. They swore by him left and right, and they were just kids. But the program in itself, from the top to the bottom, is a first-class organization. And you know, I didn't sleep the first couple of days. I knew where I was going, and when I got there, you know, it was just work and a lot of work. And,
a lot of jumping up and down and a lot of jump roping. You know, do you do jump roping and so forth? It's good for the
A phase of our program is jump roping, but we're in our in-season phase now, so that's kind of, you know, the big guys still jump rope a lot, but, you know, the skill guys, you know, a lot of box jumps and things like that. But at Alabama, I learned a lot, basically in the weight room, limitations and how to handle injuries and things like that. So that's been very key to our success here, and the weight program and everything else. That's been one of the things in player development. And that's something I really took away from that place that will be with me forever.
You believe that nobody can determine the size of a young man's heart?
I believe that, yes, sir.
And you believe that a young man's heart makes him, motivates him to be the best he can be. Is that right?
Well, I think with young people, I think that is correct. But I think with young people, I think you have to guide them and mold them, and then let them grow from there.
Coach, you believe in oneness, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
And of course, you're trying to develop oneness among not only your football team, but also all of your sports programs as AD at Pike Liberal Arts. A wonderful cheerleader squad, Coach. I mean, you when you go to battle tomorrow night, you'll bring a whole group of young people that are going to make Pike proud. Is that right?
Yes, sir, we will.
You know, Mike and I were talking.
I've got a question. You know, when you're in Alabama and you're the strength and conditioning coach, and Cochran, we met him before, and Dad heard him speak one time, and I mean, you got Terry Jones Sr. He's been there for years.
Forever.
You got Kendall Moorhead. Kendall Moorhead was there. You got Josh Chapman, the great nose guard that played at Alabama. You had so many guys in strength and conditioning. I mean, you're around so many different personalities and so many different athletes. And I tell friends all the time, we're huge Alabama fans. We're season ticket holders. I think Alabama's going to really miss Scott Cochran. I think Scott Cochran was a huge factor in that program.
The whole kid fired up.
I was devastated when he left.
Man, to be honest with you, you're absolutely right. Coach Chapman, man, he was great with the kids every day in, that day out. And Moorhead, he was outstanding too. And Rashad Johnson was outstanding. And Gilbert Rings, like you said, you had the who's who in the weight room, but man, Coach Cochran, you know, everybody used to ask me, is he really that way? Is he really that way? Man, that dude is like that from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 at night. Yeah, that is what he is. And like you said, it's to be seen, but I think I think he had a lot to do with that program as well.
No question about it. Hey, the key is get fired up.
He's at Tennessee
now. Went up to coach with Pruitt at Tennessee.
Yes, sir, he did. I think that's a great landing spot for him. You know, Coach Stevenson is up there with Coach Pruitt as well, so I think you'll see a lot of familiar faces. And man, Moorhead got a great personality, man. He get along with everybody, so I think that'd be great.
But the key is, the key to it all is, your kid's playing hard for you. Coach, you can be the best athlete out there, but if he doesn't play hard, you're not getting everything you need from him. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. We got a motto every day: all we want is all you got. So we practice that way, we lift that way, we go through everything we do every day that way. So it's like so far, man, it's been a blessing. These young people have really come to work. So I've been thoroughly blessed with the people I've been around and the kids, and everything is actually working out.
Well, Coach, at 6:45 tomorrow, we can look at our screens on Channel 2 on our cable network, Channel 2, and of course on Facebook. You can reach us at TC2. That's Troy Cable 2, TC2. You can watch us live on Facebook also. tomorrow night. Coach, can you believe that? Across the country, are your friends out in Los Angeles, or your friends in Topeka, Kansas, or wherever they are, Coach, you can watch Pike Liberal Arts football live on Troy Cablevision tomorrow night, with kickoff being at 7 o'clock. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
And, of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you feel good about your team?
I feel great about my team. Man, to be honest with you, I'm just humble. I'm humbled at the young people, how they're working. I'm humbled by the city of Troy, how they accepted my family and I. And I'm really just looking forward to being part of this community.
And, of course, your wife's with you today. She's welcome to come up and say hello if she wants to, but that's up to her. But, Coach, we appreciate you coming on our show. Of course, we have a show every Wednesday, coaching show every Wednesday night. I hope that you'll be a part of that. You'll have a review of the highlights for the game that was played on Friday night, on a Wednesday night, and talk about what to expect going into the next week. So that's something that we'll talk about later. But you got to be excited, and your players got to be excited. You're going against the top program in the state of Alabama, and of course, on your schedule you've got Bessemer, you got Tuscaloosa, you got Lee Scott, you got Morgan out of Selma.
We don't play Morgan this year, no sir.
Yeah, Monroe, Glenwood.
And being able to beat Monroe is tough. It's been tough for Pike, and of course that'll be a big challenge to go up against
it's tough
him.
for a lot of people.
Yeah, but the Class 3A in the Alabama Independent School Association, they're good, solid programs, Coach.
Yes, sir, it is, and like I said, we're looking forward to one day being one of those top-tier programs.
And why y'all scheduled Chambers, I don't know why.
Well, my whole thing was
Chambers won 2 or 3 straight state championships.
They've been in the championship game.
Tommy Garrett's a friend of mine, the head football coach or the assistant football coach.
Yes, sir. When we got to Troy, we knew we've been in private school, back in private school now for 6-7 years. So we knew what the talk would be about competition and everything like that. So we want to be one of the better programs. So the only way you can be the best is play the best. So we pretty much got the whole entire top 10 minus Jackson Academy on our schedule. So we looking forward to the challenge.
Is Otago on your schedule or Edgewood, either one?
Edgewood is on our schedule.
They're back playing the same kind of ball they played 2 or 3 years ago now, aren't they?
Ooh, they're going to be a really, really good program.
That's what I thought.
But Otago was not on our schedule, but we had a chance to play those guys in 7-on-7.
And then you got a chance to play them for a state championship too, don't they?
Otago's in 2A.
Yeah, I got
you. So we're in 3A.
Yeah.
So
wasn't there a school we saw a name, we didn't know the name, Valbrant maybe?
Valiant Cross.
Yeah, that's a new school in Montgomery.
Where are they out of?
They're in Montgomery. They've been playing JV for a while, and now they just moved up to varsity. So they got some pretty good athletes.
They've got a player on their team, Mike, that's really is outstanding. His name is Savion German. His name is an outstanding player. And another player on that team is Antavius Jackson. Those are 2 outstanding players that play on Valiant Cross. So there's going to be players.
We were talking the other day, we've been talking a lot. John Ramage was on the show talking about the merger from First National Bank to Floyd Bank and Trust, and then Dad and I have been talking about a lot, about the possibility one day of playing a public school schedule. Is that something you'd be for, or is that something you don't really worry about right now? I know you're worried about private school schedule this year, but do you think Pike Live can make a jump like ACA did in Tuscaloosa?
Well, that's when I came down here in the interview process. That was one of the things we talked about. It's a plan in place, and yes, we want to make that jump one day. That's that's so-called, kind of making it to the big leagues. So
that's right. Well, that's
I would
great.
love for our kids and our community to have, there's probably some really, really good gates around here if we play each other. And, man, it'd be a great night, Friday nights down here in Pike County.
No question about it. And, of course, Coach, you've already given us already over an hour of your time, and we appreciate it very much. And, Coach, we're excited about your program. And, you said to me before we started, we all got to believe in God first. And that's your philosophy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Put Christ first in your life.
Yes, sir.
It's not easy to do, but hey, that's what He wants us to do. And
man, you know,
I'm for what the Lord wants me to do, aren't you?
Yes, sir. It's like I tell the guys every day. You know, I told them, you know, when we first got down here, they was all laughing at us. Then they was talking about the kids coming in, and then they was talking about the 7-on-7s. I said, when you're doing God's work, every time you go to a new level, it's a new devil. So as long as we keep God first, man, we're going to be all right. And I firmly believe that. And that's what we preach to our kids. And that's how I try to live my life. But I'm just a flawed guy from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If you look at the situation I'm in right now, I'm an African-American male in Pike County coaching at Pike Liberal Arts on its 50th anniversary in the middle of a race war, so to speak, in the middle of a pandemic. And it's working out. That's not any kind of testament to me or any kind of testament to the people of Troy or Pike. That's all God's work, and we down here for a reason. And my wife and I and my children, we know we're on a plan, on a mission, and no matter what, we're going to do that mission, no matter what, whether we have a football season or not. This community needs healing, and everybody needs to be together. And we're going to see to it these kids get what they need and put something positive out in the world when they leave the city of Troy and Pike County.
Amen, my friend. And glory.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from the new head football coach at Pike Liberal Arts. And, Coach, again, good luck to you, your team tomorrow night. And it's going to be a lot of fun watching the red, white, and blue of the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots hit the field, Coach. And, hey, it's going to be it can't help but help your football team and your program for this year to sort of, it's going to be a great measuring stick on what you need to do and how far you've come so far.
Yes, sir, it will be.
And, of course, Coach Mario White, the new head.
Best of luck to you, Coach.
Hey, man, thank you so much.
The new head football coach at Pike Liberal Arts School, and we'll be back with more of Today in L.A. in just a moment.
We've been doing business the right way for 31 years, and now we've approached a year at the all-new Bill Jackson Ford. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
I would recommend Bill Jackson to friends and family. Environment was just friendly.
It's a short drive from anywhere.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson satisfaction is real.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
We've been doing business the right way for 31 years, and now we've approached a year at the all-new Bill Jackson Ford. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
I would recommend Bill Jackson to friends and family. Environment was just friendly.
It's a short drive from anywhere.
We're set to do all your games home and away on Troy Cable.
Thank
you. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you too, darling. Thank you.
What do you think?
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at Premier Dodge Chrysler Ram Jeep and Ram trucks on the bypass. They've got a huge summer sale going on that you can't beat anywhere. If you're interested in buying a Dodge Chrysler Ram trucks Jeep today, hey, they'll beat anybody's price. Anywhere they'll beat anybody's price. Back to our show, Mike. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. I was just to meet Coach White. I was impressed with his background, and you know, big step up tomorrow night playing Bessemer Academy. I know it's a jamboree, but that's going to be some really tough competition. But it sounds
well,
like
they're not actually calling it a jamboree. They're calling it sort of a showcase, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big game tomorrow night in Bessemer. I'm sure a lot of folks from Troy will be making that drive up. Of course, that's probably about 2.5 hours, I'd say, to get to Bessemer. I guess it depends on which way you want to go.
I'll tell you this.
459 off of 65 probably the best way to go.
When he comes back and prepares his team for the next week, he'll know a lot about what he needs to do to improve his team or to work to be better. And it can't help but be a very good thing to be able to play the top team in the state of Alabama right off the bat, to be able to see how you stand.
Has had a defensive tackle like Geiss, 6'1", 300 pounds, and then you got a linebacker, he said, that's 6'2", 235 pounds. Those are some huge kids for private school.
I'll tell you this, Geiss is a Division I prospect, and I thought they would be playing him at a nose guard. Could you see Geiss lining up against any center in the Alabama Independent schools? That center would be wanting to go home after the third play.
I mean, he would literally...
I mean, he would wear a center out.
He would probably make several tackles just knocking the center back into the quarterback.
Exactly. I don't know. I'll tell you right now, he's and I didn't say this when the coach was here, but Geiss is the kind of guy that will keep the other team from getting the snap from center. Hey.
Yeah, I know. Kind of reminds me of when Alabama had Mount Cody. You know, they put Cody over the center, and he was so quick. I mean, that pretty much helped Alabama win the national championship.
Oh, yeah. And I can remember years and years ago, Nebraska played Alabama, and both of them, I think it was going to be for the national championship. And Nebraska had a nose guard that was so quick, Alabama couldn't block him. And he just dominated the game. I can't remember his name right off the bat, but he was really, really good. Ladies and gentlemen.
Coach White, I mean, you said the right thing, though. It is kind of recruiting players. I mean, you can do that at a private school level. I mean, you can try to get as many players as you want to get. You can get
but you know, I like something he said. He wants quality.
Get guys from Goshen.
He wants quality individuals in his program, and if you're going to play for him, you're going to do it his way, the right way. You're going to trust in the Lord. It's going to enhance your religious beliefs, and you're going to be a better person, I think, for playing for Coach White.
I didn't know Robert Rowland, the softball coach for several years, is his offensive coordinator. I didn't know he coached football.
No, he's a defensive coordinator, Mike, and he is a good one, too.
I thought he was offensive coordinator.
Well, I could be wrong, but I think he's a defensive coordinator.
Cornelius coaching on defense, and he's got somebody else coaching on defense, I thought. But,
Cornelius is very, very high on Coach White as an individual, and he told me yesterday, he said he wouldn't be doing this for anybody else other than him. So that'll tell you a lot about Coach White right there. Cornelius doesn't have the time to fool around with just a regular, ordinary guy. He wants a guy that is going to not only coach football, but is also going to enhance the word of Jesus Christ in the program. And I'm not saying that they don't already have it, but they put God first in their program, and I believe in it.
I mean, he had to go in and make 2 hires. The basketball coach was Ponder, and baseball coach was Ponder, and of course he brought in the Hickson kid, and he brought in the Brown kid to coach basketball. So he had to do 2 hires as soon as he got there as well.
Yeah. Boy, that new basketball facility they've got has really helped their program tremendously, Mike. They have a beautiful playing court. They got new bleachers. It's just like a new gym, and I was watching them practice yesterday. A bunch of kids were just shooting around, and boy, they've got some athletes. And
did they finally put AC in that gym? I remember for years it didn't have air conditioning.
I don't know. I want to say they do. Yeah, I'm saying it is air conditioned because
that court, the court, they definitely need a new court there. Of course, their facilities, for private school are nice, but I mean, I would imagine if they ever played a public school schedule, they might even improve the football stadium and some other aspects as well.
Of course, they're good in all sports. They're good in basketball and they're good in baseball. And of course, Coach White, son, as we mentioned, as soon as there's a draft, his son will probably go pretty high when he's eligible for the draft.
You got to think now, if you go in the top 4 rounds, that's really good money. So it'd be hard to pass up that opportunity.
And that's on down the line,
he's
for
already
him.
committed to Florida State. The Nelson kid's committed to Auburn. Of course, Florida State's legendary coach Mike Martin is retired, but his son.
Is he going to get that job? Is he going to get that job?
His son got the head job.
Boy, that is something. Coach Martin was there for a long time. And now his son is the new head coach, baseball coach.
Of course, we went through a day of craziness on Monday with all these schools canceling, and then yesterday, no news, which is good. Of course, we're still trying to figure out who in the world Troy's going to play in their football schedule. You're hearing rumors like Middle Tennessee State. The athletic director of Middle Tennessee came out, a big article on AL.com that Troy and Middle were going to play a home and home, but that's still not official on Troy's website. And Brent Jones still has not come out and said it was official. And now you're hearing BYU as a possibility. You're now hearing Mercer as a possibility, Florida A&M as a possibility. So Troy's got to figure out who they're going to play in this first game.
Well, let me tell you this: if Ohio State, Michigan, and some of those teams in the Big Ten decide for just this 1 year to play play football as an independent for 1 year, I think they're allowed to do that by the NCAA. I could see those guys putting together their own little schedule, and you wouldn't believe what they might have to go down to the lower 1A programs, or might even have to go to the 1AA programs to get 12 games or at least 10 games. I think you're still going to, let me just say this, you don't tell a program like Ohio State that you're going to shut it down for a year. You don't do that.
You know,
and I think Michigan's that strong, and I think Nebraska's that strong.
He came out yesterday and said if they're going to play in the spring, he wants to play in early January, and that would be his, definite option that he would like if that's what they do in the Big 12.
Now, who said that? Who said that, Mike?
Ohio State's coach Ryan Day said that. The Big 10 and the Pac-12 are the two teams that have canceled for the fall, but he doesn't want to play, in March and April and all that. He wants to play in January and have the season as quick as possible, because he mentioned yesterday that Justin Fields would probably play if they played in January, because then you would have your guys done before the NFL draft in April.
Yeah. Well,
that's what these big name players are concerned about. They're wanting to play in the fall because they want to have time to rest and prep and get ready for the draft.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can play spring football leagues in the Power 5 leagues and any even non-Power 5. I can see your Division 2s and your Division 3s and 1AA's playing in the spring, but I can't see these guys that have any even first to second to third round grade playing. There'd be so many guys that wouldn't play.
Yeah, no question. Of course, high school football, as we mentioned, is going full blast, and I don't have right here in my hands the Charles Henderson schedule, but we do know that Goshen and Pike Liberal Arts have elected to play just an area. Play against just area schools. So
you're talking about not Pike Liberal Arts, but Pike County.
Pike County. I'm sorry, Pike County. 7 games for Goshen, 7 games for Pike County. And right now, the way it looks is that Pike County and Goshen both will just play 3 games during the regular season, and then 3 games at home, and then 4 games on the road. And then their playoffs start, and if you're good enough, you can play 4 more games. So I don't think that's a bad deal that they're doing. I think Charles Henderson's going to start before then. They're going to. I think they're allowing especially the public school board or whoever calls the shots are going to allow some of these teams to play 10-game schedule. Some of them might even play 11-game schedule.
Like yesterday, West Alabama has canceled their football season because the Gulf South Conference has decided not to play football, and North Alabama, the Big South Conference, has canceled their season in the fall, but North Alabama has 4 games they still want to try to play. One of them against BYU, so they're talking about playing 4 games in the fall and then 8 conference games in the spring. That sounds like one of the craziest things ever.
That does. It really does. You know, what I've said all along is, won't they wait to November 1st? November 1st and play November, December, and January, and then let your basketball start in January while football's still playing. You go ahead and start your basketball and start it in January. I think that would be pretty good.
If you start in January, you can play your conference slate at least.
Exactly. Yeah, games. That's right. And just and then if you want to play,
I mean, you can play out 2 or 3 games maybe before then. Before you start a conference.
Exactly.
But I'll be honest with you. I mean, the numbers I keep on thinking are going to come down more. But I mean, shoot, yesterday it was still 49,000 cases in the United States. I think deaths were up to 1,100 still. I mean, until it starts coming down to like in the 25,000 range, I mean, hopefully that's going to be the case by the end of the month. And then, you know, when the SEC starts September 26th, you know, maybe these cases will be down to 10,000. I mean, I told my wife, you know, we were taking our kids back to school, and down here we were able to take the girls back in May for 4 weeks, and then we, you know, had them in a summer school camp in June, and shoot, back then the numbers were 18,000 a day.
Yeah.
You know, and we were worried about 18,000 a day. Now you got to worry about 50,000 a day.
And that's nationwide,
it was actually a lot better a couple months ago, you know.
Is that nationwide?
Yeah, nationwide. I'm saying at one time, the coronavirus got all the way down to like 15,000 cases a day.
Yeah.
And it just progressively got worse when the spike happened.
So actually it's worse now than it was.
It's a lot worse now than it ever was.
Well, now, one of the reasons it's worse is because there's a lot more testing going on, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot more testing going on as well, and they're also saying that people get counted twice, and people that are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
You know, of a heart attack or die of a drowning or died in an automobile crash. You know that they're still listed as a COVID-19 death.
I want to mention our friends at Bird Drugs today, the best drugstore you'll find anywhere, and also a great place to eat. Also a great place to eat breakfast this morning is at Sunny South on the bypass right here in Troy. Jimmy Norman and Trey and all the great folks there have wonderful breakfast foods for you to carry out. And, of course, the gas prices are very, very competitive, and we appreciate them. Mike, you know, this thing, we're going through tough times, and you said some teams, more and more teams are bowing out because of the virus, but Troy and the Gulf South, and their conference, the Sun Belt, Mike, seem to be holding pretty strong, and pretty much.
Well, the Sun Belt is pretty much anything the SEC does, the Sun Belt's going to do. It looks like they're, you know, they're kind of teams are spread out in kind of the same states. It's kind of the same blueprint. I mean, I'll say this. David Sweeney came out yesterday, and he said, when you have the SEC still playing the ACC and the Big 12, if you look at the college playoffs the last 5-6 years, you've had Alabama, LSU, Clemson, or Oklahoma. So basically, you're not really missing a whole lot out of the Pac-12 because, I mean, Pac-12 USC was going to be a little bit better. Oregon lost a great quarterback. I mean, they're going to be pretty good. Washington's got a new coach. UCLA's been down. I mean, I don't think you're missing a whole lot.
That's right.
You're obviously missing a lot in the Big Ten because Ohio State was ranked 2 in all the polls you see, and Justin Fields back at quarterback. A lot of people thought Ohio State had a chance to win it all. You know, if we could somehow get Ohio State in the mix somehow, and maybe throw in Michigan, even though Michigan hadn't won a national championship in about 40 years, you know, that might be intriguing if you could get Michigan and Penn State, Ohio State, maybe Wisconsin, maybe Nebraska. Those 5-10 teams play as an independent. All play each other, and then they could pick up a BYU. Maybe pick up some of these higher end schools like non-power schools like Boise State, Houston, Memphis. I mean, he put together a pretty decent schedule.
Yeah. Well, you're exactly right, and I just cannot see Ohio State sitting back and letting Clemson and Alabama play for a national championship.
Oh, I mean, the coaches and the players have already come out and said we'll play in the SEC for the year. They've also said that they would join.
And
the
Michigan's the same way. I'm thinking about how their coaches are thinking, and then of course Nebraska the same way. They've already shown their desire.
Nebraska's been down for several years. It's kind of surprising Nebraska's had such a strong push, but
I think he thinks he's got a good team this year. I think.
Well, you know better than anybody, that fan base is as close to an SEC fan base as you'll ever see, and they're rabid.
I think something that you can.
Nebraska.
I think something you can believe in. No fans at the games. I can see that happening. That be 0 fans at the games. That we'll watch it on TV or on big screen outside the stadium or whatever. But I don't think you're going to see fans in the game. That's about the only way you can really do it, Mike. That's really the only way you can do it is without fans in the game.
Well,
because that alleviates your chances of having the virus at long scale. I mean, big scale in findings. I think by not having fans,
you can regulate it though at the big schools. I mean, University of Alabama. I've had friends.
Okay. Big East has just postponed everything.
People I know that own boxes and. You can't tell me some of these real big money people at the University of Alabama, if they're playing Georgia and Bryant Denny, and they own these boxes and they spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. That the people that can't be seen on television that are in these boxes and they have the glass, you can't tell me those aren't going to be full of big time boosters and people watching games.
We just heard.
There's going to be people in the stadiums. You're just not going to be able to see them.
Yeah. Mine, we just heard that the Big East is shut down. They shut down. I don't know if they shut down for basketball or not, but
Big East isn't football anymore.
Yeah, but no football anymore. All fall sports. So fall sports, and that would probably include basketball then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Big East is just basketball now. It's not football.
Okay. But of course, it's something that we were expecting anyway.
My big issue though is like, say the leagues, start on the 26th, and then the cases are down, say 15,000, 10,000, and it turns out some of these schools like Ohio State, Michigan, some of the schools out of the Pac-12, Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC. Never stop practicing. Is there any chance they can opt back in and decide to play come September?
Yeah. If they can put it, if those in the
conferences are.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you this.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would have canceled the season. I would have maybe postponed until they felt better about starting play. They could have postponed and started playing in October if they wanted to.
I want to mention this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday from Veterans Stadium in Troy, the annual Troy University football night, and it'll be held on the field at Troy University, and wonderful, wonderful food and festivities and a lot of fun. Of course, a $10,000 giveaway. Tickets can be purchased through Judy Morgan at Troy University. Just call her and she'll you can go by and buy your tickets from her. Raymond on South Brundage Street, Raymond Style Shop. I think he's got some tickets left, so you could drop by there and buy your tickets. Of course, also Meet the Trojans is this weekend, and that's I think that's at 1:00 on Saturday. So then hopefully a scrimmage Saturday morning. So we've got a lot of football going on so far. Everything is go at Troy University. They started school yesterday with no hitches, and I rode through there, Mike, and it looked like not much change. You couldn't find a parking place anywhere.
I read they had one student that was in a dorm tested positive for coronavirus.
One student, which is not bad.
Yeah, the 3 suite mates, I guess, have been quarantined, and, that's really not bad at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is what North Alabama's going to do. And of course, they're 1AA now. So they're trying to play 4 games in the fall because the Big South Conference is canceled. So I would assume that they're going to try to play these. They've got a game against Western Illinois on the 3rd. They got Chattanooga on the 19th. They got Jacksonville State on the 12th. And then after that, they don't play again until November the 21st at BYU. So they would almost go like a month and a half without playing a game before they play BYU.
You know what? This is where they could come in and play Troy.
All about money, I guess.
But it's not over with, Mike. The schedule is not over with. I could see them playing Troy sometime, maybe in there.
Yeah, that Troy could be in the mix. You are right about that.
Yeah,
of course, if you're going to play 4 non-conference games and 8 conference games in the spring, which I still don't know how they're going to do that. That'd be 12 games. If you had Troy, that'd be 13 games. I don't know if they can get away with doing that or not.
Yeah. What will they do about the marching bands, Mike? Right now, Troy plans on being in the stands. What do you think? The band.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with all that. I mean, I guess that'll be a decision the school will have to make. And
exactly. Of course, hopefully
the parents of these students, I guess, you're not having to deal with that, because these are grown adults. They're all 18 or over.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm so excited to hear there's actually a football game going on tomorrow night with Pike Liberal Arts and Bessemer Academy.
I am too.
Mean, if I was Coach Lindsay, I'd want to play week 0. You go ahead and just start the season. Because I think once you start the season, you're committed.
Yeah.
But if you don't play a game until, especially the SEC, until the 26th, man, that is a long time to wait to play.
I want to mention our good friends at Southeast Alabama Rural Electric Co-op, located on Highway 231 South in Troy. I want to mention also the gas district, also located right here in Troy, and of course with their home headquarters, the Southeast Alabama Gas District, located in Andalusia, with numerous gas district operations across Southeast Alabama and the Wiregrass, and we appreciate them so very much, being a long time member of our sponsorship. And of course, I want to mention also our good friends at Piggly Wiggly, Mike, and I bought some great products there yesterday. But I tell you, their produce department is the best in town, regardless of anybody else. I like their food that they give us as far as fresh vegetables and, all kinds of great opportunities to get some good food at Piggly Wiggly, not only on the bypass in Troy, but also on North 39th Street in Troy. I want to also mention our good friends at Sisters, and of course they're open Monday through Friday. They're closed on Saturday and now on Sunday, and they're open Monday through Friday, whether you can come in and sit down and eat a meal of meat plus 3 vegetables, or you can take it out, whichever way you want to do it. It is great food at Sisters, and we appreciate them very much.
Basically the way it originally was. For years and years it was just a meat and 3, and you had your little piece of paper, and that's how you ordered. And then of course they got into the buffets, and the buffets did wonderful as well. But that's kind of the way I know my mom, Carol Amos, enjoyed it the most when it was just meat and 3.
Yeah, well, it is great food, and nobody cooks any better than Sisters, and we appreciate them very much. I want to also mention Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, now with 13 locations to choose from, Mike. Of course, they are expanding all year long. They're expanded into a bigger, even stronger network of banks. And of course, want to mention
$1 billion bank. It'll be fun one day. We'll have some ideas. We'll try to think of all the families that have that $1 billion in Troy.
Well, let me just say this: it's a big bank. Thanks to also to Pike County receiving ownership of First National Bank of Troy Brundage, and another strong local bank has joined in with Troy Bank and Trust Company to make Troy Bank and Trust Company a $1 billion bank in Alabama, one of the strongest banks in Alabama. Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need. Also, Pond Stocker 2. Get up with my good buddy Jim Mullis, and he can stock your pond with all kinds of new fish, brim and bass and crappie. He can stock your pond today. Call him today, and we appreciate him very much being a part of our show. And of course, want to mention too, Mike, this weekend we've got, as we mentioned, we've got a scrimmage. We've got a Meet the Trojans going on around.
What time will that scrimmage be on Saturday?
I don't know. I want to say it'll be in the morning. It'll be, I would say, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll know tomorrow exactly what time that scrimmage is.
For the coming week, the weather's going to be like extraordinarily, really unusually cool. I think next week in Troy is going to be, I think, highs in like the low 80s, and then at night it's going to get down to the low 60s.
Isn't that wonderful? Whoa.
That will be an amazing change.
I'm going to get out and dance in my front yard if that's the case.
Of course, that won't affect me much down here at the beach. It's always going to be hot down here, but y'all actually going to have some cooler temperatures, I'm seeing.
I want to mention a happy birthday to Mary Prater Amos. She'll be 4 years old. Well, excuse me, 5 years old.
No, she'll be 4 years old.
Excuse me, 4 years old. I can't keep up with it. 4 years old.
Actually, no, her birthday is not until next Wednesday, the 19th. So we might be on the air for her birthday. I might put her on the screen with me, and you can sing her happy birthday.
Well, she's a precious little girl, and she's only 4.
My wife, Lee Amos, the luckiest woman in the world to marry Michael Amos. She thanks me every day that she met an unbelievable
She gets down on her knees every day and prays to the Lord. Thank you for my husband, Mike Amos.
She tells all her friends she outkicked her coverage every day of her life. But she will turn 41 on Sunday, so we'll be celebrating.
Mike, she might not appreciate you mentioning how old she is now. You're gonna be in the hot water.
Well, I mean, I'm 44.
See, all of Mountain Brook watches the show on Facebook every morning.
Yeah,
Mike.
I mean, all of Mountain Brook has another second home at Lake Martin, so that is a possibility.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, we're going to celebrate Lee and Mary Prater on Sunday, but then Mary Prater's actual birthday is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she's a sweet little girl, and Millie, we're thinking about you too. Of course,
they just got taken to school. They started school this week, and it's been a blessing for mom and dad, to say the least.
How has that worked out so far, Mike?
It's been fun. You know, they check their temperatures when they walk in the door, and parents can't go into the building. You can't have backpacks.
Parents cannot go into the building. Whoa, yeah. That's a pretty strict rule right there.
Well, I mean, it's got to be that way. But you know, everything. You can't have a backpack. You can bring their water bottles and stuff, but everything's pretty much in paper bags and plastic bags. And
they serve their meals in. Do they sell their? Are the meals in boxes, or how they do that?
No, we're putting the meals in the paper bags and plastic bags. We're not doing the lunch boxes anymore. But
okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. You know, we've been very blessed down here so far. We've had no cases with teachers and students so far.
What school system is that, Mike? What school system is that?
Well, I mean, we're in South Walton, but I mean, we're we're still
part of a church group.
Yeah, we're just in a preschool at a church.
Yeah, I got you.
Down here, so we're blessed.
Yeah, God bless you so much, and of course, God bless all of us for getting a tremendous rain last night, Mike. We had a tremendous rain last night in Troy and Pike County.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been raining on and off down here a little bit, but we definitely need some more rain. We've gone a while without some.
We appreciate our sponsors. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate Coach Mario White. I was impressed with him, wasn't you, Mike?
Yeah, I think he's the right guy for the job. You know, coming in and trying to build a program and get these guys to believe in you and kind of believe in what you're trying to do and your philosophy on things. Okay. Of course, he's an AD too, so he's got a lot of other responsibilities.
No question. He's going to do a great job at Pike Liberal. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. We'll be back on the air at 1:30 today for more of Today in L.A.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select